Welcome back to the podcast. Today's topic is your why should make you cry.
Welcome to Shift Happens, the podcast about navigating the lighter side of life's challenges.
I'm Robin McIntire, a certified life and transitions coach.
And I'm Monique Eckes, a questioner asking the questions you, the audience, are probably thinking.
We hope.
Yeah. Okay, Robin, I want to kind of drill this down to the most basic. Your why should make you cry. But first of all, what's a why? For anyone not listening, like, what's a why? Why do we even need a why?
And if you've been in personal development for a long time, you probably absolutely know this if you're a big goal setter, but we were surprised. I was surprised. I thought everybody knew that phrase. And so our why is the reason we're going to stick to the steps that it takes to hit the goal. It's just our deep reason for going after something. Why is it important? You know, we say, again, weight loss I'll use. I want to lose weight. Why do you want to lose weight? Well, I'm going to the beach. Okay, why is that important? I mean, it's so much deeper usually than what we come up with in the beginning. That's my challenge when I get clients and they say, oh, I just want this. When we get to the bottom of the why, you should be feeling it in your body. Like, if I don't do this, it's not okay.
Okay, because I think, I've heard the term, you need a why. Why behind all kinds of things, especially as a business person. What's your why? What's your why? But until I heard you talk at a function one time, and you said, oh, your why, you know how it is, your why should make you cry. And everyone in the room was like, what? We'd never heard that. And it just makes that so much of a deeper reason, for anything that we do. So I love the idea of not only crafting a why, but a why that really makes you cry, like you said, embodies.
It's interesting because I do find that clients that might have the hardest time saying, oh my gosh, Robin, why am I sabotaging? Why am I self-sabotaging all the time? And we have blocks, right? There's four human blocks that we all have that can stop us. But one of the biggest things is if our why is not that important. And, if we have that split energy where you're like, well, I really want it, but life is pretty good the way it is. Just even that. So we need to dig deeper to find something that is going to pull you during the times that you kind of don't care.
Right.
Because you know you care, especially long-term goals. Long-term goals are especially challenging.
Okay. I like that distinction too, with the longer term, either goals or commitments, because I find sometimes we were talking about this when I'm writing out my goals, it's really just a to-do list. I already know I'm going to do them. So some of them are just like, I'll have my 24 and 24 list of things I want to do this year, and it's just so I remember to do it, and other ones are difficult. Like maybe I've tried it many times and it hasn't worked for some reason. So we talked a little about resistance. So did we have another podcast about that?
We had, resistance was not very long ago.
Right,
3 podcasts ago or so.
We've done a few. So tell me how this why should make you cry can help with resistance, sabotage, with those bigger, deeper, more important goals.
So your why that makes you cry, it's just really that nudge. Like, girl, this is important to you. It's just that reminder in the times we need it where we want to give up.
Oh, right.
Right, and resistance comes up all the time. That's what our brain does. It's like, no, we want to stay comfortable. Our brain likes certainty, and whenever we're trying to do something new or make a change or create a new version of ourselves, the brain's going to always throw obstacles. So the why is just, if it's deep enough and it's real enough for you, that is what makes you keep going. I know for me, it's just been that thing that it's always kept me going. Business, for sure. The eating disorder years ago, that I didn't understand why. I just knew I was in deep trouble and I knew I felt awful. But any of our big goals that we really, really want, you just have to know why to make it important. If we don't know why, we just don't care.
Such a good point. I think we talked in a previous episode about, boundaries and commitments, things like that. And I brought up my volunteer efforts over the years, right? And so I think this is also important to think about for anything, whether it's our goal, something we're committing to. when I volunteer at the animal shelters for photography, that's a deep why for me.
Yeah, tell us what it is.
Right? So for years and years and years, I went every single week to the shelters to photograph the adoptable animals for their adoption portfolio. And so
good.
that was always something I said, I would do this even if I didn't have a pet photography business. Right? This is important to me no matter what I'm doing. I can see me doing this when I'm retired, that kind of thing. So I think that helps me decide what my next thing is going to be and then stay committed to it.
But why, you did go all the time and you were committed, but what was your why?
Oh yes, thank you. To really see those animals get homes. It was important to me, like there's so many animals in the shelters, I can help. And so the days where I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to go, well, these dogs are sitting in this kennel and this picture can help them. So that was a big why.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to go just a tiny deeper.
Yeah, okay.
So you want the dogs to have homes, but why?
Oh.
I mean, what in you said, I've got to help this cause?
Because I in my business, a lot of times it's dogs are part of your family. And so it's so important for them to have a home and a family and that interaction. 40 years ago, they would have been kind of backyard ornaments. We didn't understand our ties to these animals. And they really are truly part of our families now. And so it just makes me so sad to see them sitting in there.
Okay, the sad.
Right?
This is what we're getting to right here.
Yeah.
What would it make you feel like if you couldn't make a difference and you were always thinking about what was happening to those dogs?
Oh, that would be really sad.
It
goes from sad to really devastating.
Hits a nerve, yeah?
Yeah.
Lump in the throat or the stomach?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's your why.
That's what we're talking about,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's for a volunteer effort. Can I give my other example?
Yes.
So I've been in coaching with Robin for many months now, and one thing that I never thought I would make a goal is weight loss, because
I love it.
I'm just like, okay, I'm this weight, it's fine. I have other things to do. And I didn't want to make a big science experiment out of it, that kind of thing. But when I finally said, you know what? I would like to lose weight because there's certain things that I would want to breathe easier. I want to go on more hikes in beautiful Colorado here. I want to, there's certain things. So you said, okay, let's tie a why into that beyond just I want smaller pants or whatever.
I want to look a certain way. Yeah, absolutely.
Or because society says,
or
whatever. And what we came up with for my why is I want to be able to chase my grandkids. Not chase them, but, interact with them, right? They run. I need to keep up with them.
Yeah.
They're very small, so if they run off a playground, it's a problem. So I want to be able to keep up with my little bitty grandkids, and that is so important to me. And I'm going to cry right now, right?
A why that makes you cry.
Yeah, for real.
It makes me want to cry.
I
Those babies are, there's nothing like them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you want to show up your best to be with those babies, and even as they grow up, you want to set the example, whatever it is.
For sure.
If you are too out of breath or uncomfortable in your body to not move and go be with them, it's a problem.
Yeah, especially when I only see them a few times a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We found our why.
Pause.
And notice.
Pause. This is an example of that.
Yeah.
Really getting to that deeper meaning. Weight loss is one, your volunteer efforts, your business we talked about in the Rocking Chair Moments episode. That was a huge why for you. Do you want to recap that for a moment?
My why is, oh man, we're worked up this morning. It really is because of the state, the feeling I have now in my day-to-day life is so much gratitude that I don't feel like I'm in struggle with myself. I feel like I have inner peace. And I know that getting through the struggles are not easy. And if I can use any of my examples and my coaching skills, and hopefully my superpower being making people feel comfortable to be able to open up and get to some of that work, and then make you uncomfortable, because that's what growth is. But I just can't imagine not sharing it.
Yeah.
I feel like I got not like the magic key, but a way of making my life better, and I just really believe for anybody suffering, if I can help, I just feel like I'm here to do that.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
It just would feel really bad to, we know in business trying to figure it all out in our marketing and trying to, make sure clients find us and all that. It's so frustrating. There's so many times I could have given up over the years, even when I was a personal trainer.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Where we could just give up because it's just so hard to be in business for yourself. And that why keeps me going.
Yeah. I love it. Oh, look at us. Let's just go into our sponsor bit for a second, because what you have to offer ties right into what you were just saying.
It does. It does. My Spark Plus session, if you've been following us, you've probably heard the offer already, but I'm offering 20% off. It is a 2-session program, if you will. It's a 90-minute session to kick off what it is. I get to know you a little bit, hear your story, hear what it is you want to do, whether it's make a change, create something new, whatever is hanging over your head, if there is something. That first 90 minutes can be very intense if you want it to be. It can be whatever you need. And together we'll make a plan for what you can be tweaking and adjusting in your life, trying new things out. 2 weeks later, we have a 30 to 45 minute conversation, and you can check in what's working, what's not, what can we tweak, and at that time, if you like having the support, we can talk about other programs at that time. So 20% off. In the show notes, you will see a special link, and you'll just follow the directions there to make sure you get the 20% off.
Oh, perfect. That's easy. Okay.
Yeah, it's very easy.
Okay. And so what I love about this is that, like, you could tell Robin is really passionate, and there's a really deep why. So this Spark Plus, could help you with your why, because it can sound overwhelming, but we're going to give you some practical things in a second.
Yeah,
so
we will.
Definitely check out the show notes and schedule something with Robin.
We'd love that.
Yeah. A new one-liner that we have to go along with this, and I know the title is Your Why Should Make You Cry, but here's another one.
Okay, so until you are moved by it, you can't move on it. Yeah. So again, feeling something in your body that says, I cannot not do this.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I mean, we have so many examples, and we talk off air all the time. Like, I've got this goal. Why aren't I reaching it? Why aren't I reaching it? You know, and this could be that one more piece that will unlock it all. I think you use that word.
Yeah,
unlock it all for you. Those ones that we're resisting, or just somehow, even though we want it and we think we're trying, we're having a hard time.
Yeah.
So I think I love this. Until you're moved by it, you can't move on it.
And I love that. And there are other blocks, right? We're human. There's like 4 major blocks that we can have. Limiting beliefs, and the inner critic stops us all the time. And there's some other ones. But this is just, you'll feel it. You'll know it.
Yeah.
You'll know it when you have your why. Mm-hmm. And when you talk about it, you'll do just like we did. You'll cry like a baby.
Yeah.
Or at least tear up, because it's just that important to you.
Yeah. And so I know, as a business person, figuring out that why can sometimes be a little difficult. But an action step we have for you today is super cool, Robin.
Yeah, it's super cool. So there's this app, and I'm going to back up by saying the first time I did this exercise was in a class with our friend Chalice.
Okay.
And I was so frustrated by it, because it just keeps asking you why. And my response at the time, I don't know. So watch yourself if you do that. If you're saying I don't know, I promise it's a lie. You do know. So really the key to using this app is staying open and just keep letting your brain look for the answers. But this app is called 7 Levels Deep, and it's got a white background and a red 7. If you're looking for it in your iPhone or your, I'm sure...
the App Store.
Yeah, the App Store.
Yeah.
So it's just a really fun one. Here's what's really funny. I went looking for it in my phone yesterday, and I've shared that a lot, but not in the last year or so.
Okay.
And I didn't have it in my phone anymore, so I asked Siri to grab it, and my old stuff was in there. Wow. So one of them was, why do I want to grow my coaching business? Mm-hmm. And it just I was reading all the things I plugged in there. Same thing. It hasn't gone away. But it's really cool. So you can plug in different goals, and it just gets you in the habit of asking why, and don't settle for the surface answer that feels fluffy.
Oh my gosh,
and with no emotion.
So even if you don't get this app, you can just write on a piece of paper, and the 7 levels deep is like, okay, why do I want to do this? And okay, but why? Okay, but why? Like she was asking me about my, volunteer efforts. Okay, but why? And get as deep as you can. You can go 7 layers.
Yeah, and what should happen towards the end is you should start literally feeling wherever your lump comes, mine gets in my throat and my stomach gets a little queasy. So just keep going. So the example too is, I want to look good in my bathing suit. Why is that important? Because when I go to the beach, I want to get up and walk around. I don't want to feel like I have to hide behind my towel. Why is that important? And you just keep going and going and going.
Yeah.
And it can really come down to so much more than you think.
Oh, yes. Yeah. It's important work.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that rounds out this episode. Oh my gosh.
It's great.
We've opened up ideas for so many more. So continue to listen, of course. So thank you for listening to the podcast. Remember, shift happens.
Shift happens.
It does.
Shift happens all the time.
Which is good.
Yep.
It can be good.
And when we accept it, then our resistance can come down.
Oh,
and then we can get to the bottom of it.
She always has more nuggets. Yes.
I don't usually add that in at the end.
I know, but it's good.
Yeah,
It's good.
it's a
Yes.
true statement.
I could sit and listen to Robin for a few hours, which we do. And you can do that on this podcast, whether it's on a podcast app and you're listening. You can watch us and our shenanigans here in the podcast studio over on Robin McIntire's YouTube channel. And it's all linked in the show notes and the website. Can you tell us how to spell
My website is robinmcintire.com, and it's spelled with all I's. ROBINMCINTIRE.
All right.
Yeah, and please share these episodes. Help us grow the podcast. If you're getting value out of it, let me know. There's on Buzzsprout, which is through my website, if you go there to listen to the podcast, there's a place where you can actually leave us messages.
Oh, fun.
Also on YouTube, or suggestions, messages, feedback. We appreciate it all.
We'd love it. Yes. All right. That's a good one.
Hey, it's a wrap.
Whoop.
Thanks so much. Ciao.